New York Comic Con has a very special place in my heart.
Every year I look forward to Comic Con. The community is awesome. People are super friendly. It's like
you can just be yourself.
It's very exciting to see other people express
It's really special. I mean, I feel like we kind of speak a
It
common
took a while
language
before I realized that I wasn't alone in the world.
It's 100 worlds in one.
It's just home.
Oh, sorry.
So we sees what happened on set.
Yes, it is a bit of a playground, that place.
If you guys don't mind, just introduce yourself for the audio, please.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Maxwell Jenkins.
I'm Zack Estrin. Our voices are very similar. I'm the nasally Jewy one, and he's the 14-year-old.
Yep.
So that's how that goes. Yes. Oh, sorry for the bright light.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're good.
It's okay.
We're good. Slam hammer
I
here.
just also look at you grown so much.
Yeah.
A foot. A legitimate foot.
How are they covering that in the dealing with that in the
We have a
time
trench
jump?
that we dig through the set, so he has to walk in the hole.
You know, we
Oh, thanks, Julie.
between season 1 and 2 there will be a time cut.
Okay.
So it won't look super crazy, but it will also look kind of weird that I'm taller than Judy Robinson.
We skipped 7 months to accommodate natural growth of actors.
Yes.
Or unnatural growth of actors. Oh no, but also just because we actually wanted to start the story, in a different place. So, but yeah, it is. The hardest thing was remaking the spacesuit over and over again, because every time they'd remake it, he would grow again, and they are very, very form-fitting. They don't really allow a lot of room, and so we have to just throw the whole damn thing out because it has like so many like re-stitches in it.
Well, by the end of the season, I remember it was like one of the last couple days, and I stood up, and there's like
a demi shirt.
There's a seam right here that they connect the pants and the thing and the top to. I stood up from sitting down and went. I was like, awesome. I went to put on my gloves once, and my hand right here opened, and it split the glove.
I think it was the Hulk.
He's the host. Yeah.
Because my hands grew.
Yeah. How tall are you now, by the way?
I'm about 5'8".
Wow.
You're as tall as my mom.
You're taller than me.
5'8" and 14?
14. Yeah.
Well, the Knicks need some help.
Yeah.
They might need more than Max Jenkins. But you aren't like even that tall at your school, though, right?
No, at my school, I'm actually like in the average. Like
they're growing them tall.
What in the world is happening now?
Yeah, Chicago kids are tall.
Wow.
My best friend's 6'5".
Wow.
At 14, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so just to jump ahead a little bit, what next show are you going to be playing a character named Will in with Netflix?
Yes. What's it going to be? Because there's all these Wills on Netflix. There's Will Byers.
Will Byers.
He's going to be William Tell. They're going to do the old story of the William Tell overture. Really exciting drama you're going to hear about.
Yep.
In the near future.
It's going to be great.
I don't have any other Wills. I don't got any other Wills. That's all I got. William Tell, the William Tell overture. Whatever.
But yeah, on that note too, what type of confidence has Netflix itself installed in you to let you just truly be who you are for this show?
Yeah, I mean, Netflix is really an amazing. They're an amazing group of people. They've given so much love to our show. They've allowed us to do some crazy stuff over the past few seasons, and I'm really grateful because
they're like fans of the show, which I think is rare.
Yes.
I've done a lot of stuff over the years with people who clearly like. I see your notes, but I think your note is that you actually just hate like whatever the story is that we're doing. That you want to like. They are all super fans. fans. Like, our executives actually would be here in cosplay, like on the floor, like they're the coolest. They like love the show, and that never happens.
Yeah.
And so just like you hear so many stories, and I've told them myself about like, oh, the studio and the network have different notes, and I don't know what's going on here, and the show reflects that. This is just like everybody knows the show, everybody loves the show, and we're all just like making it. It's the greatest creative experience of my career thus far. So,
I absolutely love Sense 8, broke my heart. Heard there was season 2 here. I was like, yes, let's do this. Let's keep the momentum going.
I know the Sense 8 thing. That's like but I will say that they are taking chances and doing stuff. But now there's so many shows.
Yeah,
It's a different world than it was when our season 1 launched. There was like in our Netflix family division, it was like us, Stranger Things, and Lemony Snicket, and now it's like Dark Crystal and Umbrella Academy, and like it's just more and more and more and more. So how do you guys decide what to watch? Like, I don't know about you, but I feel like there's so many things that I'm trying to watch.
Just call out sick a lot.
Yeah. Like, well, it's our job, so that's why we do it.
On top of Netflix also being fans, I feel like, and I don't know if this is the case for many other shows, but I feel like they're our friends too. A lot of our executives, it's not as much of a like business relationship as it is like catching up with a friend every time you see them.
That's cool. You kind of can't, like, you come on the site, you kind of can't help but be like sucked into the family, and so it's a nice place to be, especially like when it's freezing cold or raining and you're in the mud and everybody's miserable. It's nice to at least be able to do what people you like.
Let's talk about the new season. How far into shooting?
We're all done. We actually finished filming in February.
Oh, great.
But there's so many visual effects. It takes so long to do, so we usually need about 7 months of post. And then Netflix needs 60 days to put it into all the different languages around the world and all that kind of stuff. So right now, the show is done-ish. They have it. They're doing all the languages, and then every couple of days I just sort of sneak in a new visual effect shot that hasn't been done before and be like, I got a QC note. There's a pixel missing in this one. So I just kind of keep sliding them in. We technically deliver the done show October 25th. Technically.
Okay. So is there a moment early in the season that you can't wait for the fans to see? And where is it?
There's several. Oh my God, how do I choose the right? Oh, there's so many good ones. So episode 5, one of my favorites. It's a great story with Judy and John, and we get some flashbacks to find out more about why their relationship was strained at the beginning of season 1. Like, we met them and there was clearly an issue between them. So we wanted to actually go back and show their relationship through the years and some flashbacks, and it ties into this great story that they're doing right now. That is in the present. And that episode is like one of my favorite. It also has these incredibly cool creatures too. That's a fantastic episode of the show. And the first 2 are like blow our first 2 out of the water from season 1. The first episode of the season, and blow out of the water is like also a pun. But they're really like really good. Like we don't, it takes a while sometimes in the first season of a show to kind of find itself. And I kind of feel like in season 1 we really hit our stride. Like in 6, 7, and 8, we kind of really found a good groove. And this year, like, we start and like the show is like clicks, like right from the second one of season 2. It's like, season 2 comes on, and when you see the family for the first time, you've been away from them for a while, and you actually like. I find myself leaning in, and Max has this. He has this great moment in the first episode where I can't talk about it, but where he's reading something, and it's so beautiful, and anyway, this is you'll see it when you see it, and it's really amazing. It brings you right in the show right now. What was your thing? I talked for a while.
What's my thing?
I want everybody to see.
I am the episodes that I'm excited for. I don't want to like spoil what they're about, but the ones that I'm excited for are 4, 6, and 9.
Those are awesome.
Those, at least from a Will Robinson standpoint, I think those are really cool. I'm also excited in season 2 for the fans to see how the relationship between Will and the robot changes, and how being separated for so long and how Will growing up has effectively caused the robot to grow up.
It's a really cool. I'm glad you picked those episodes. Like those are. Will has a really cool arc in this season. Yet, like you'd think in season 1, being like going from a kid who was afraid to a kid who goes on a spacewalk at the end would be like, oh, that's growth. Like this goes. You know, this is a coming of age season, and 13-year-old kid, you know, go through some stuff.
Okay.
Do you have anybody in your personal life who kind of reflects the dynamics between the robot and yourself?
You know, it's not technically a person, but the relationship between me and my pit bulls back at home is definitely like the relationship between Will and the robot, because pit bulls do have a bad reputation.
That's a very good point.
But at the end of the day, they are fierce protectors, they're loyal, they're kind, and they really don't mean any harm. They just want to take care of the person who they love, and that is what Will and the robot is like.
What was the most challenging thing for you to shoot, Wes, in the first season?
In the first season, probably the most challenging thing that it took for me to get used to was green screens. I had never really done a show with green screens or visual effects. And after the first week of filming, I was super overwhelmed because it was primarily all green screen. And I'm on the drive home, and I remember being in a table read and Parker coming up to me and saying, hey, if you have any questions, just reach out to me. And me and Parker weren't actually super close at that time. We're thick as thieves now. We're super tight. But I called her and said, hey, Parker, it's me, Max. I'm really overwhelmed about the green screen. Do you have any pointers? And she says, being on a green screen is just playing pretend. Imagine like you're just playing pretend at home. Just have fun and see what's not there. And from that day forward, it made it that much easier.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys very much. I appreciate it. I know it's a long day for you guys, so thanks for having me around.
Long day for you guys.
So, thank you. Appreciate it.